Big store-bought slime with me while I tell y'all my deepest, darkest secrets in honor of 900,000 followers. This slime stretches, but like it doesn't poke, so I'm gonna add some shaving cream. Get your money's up and let it drain, like ah. Okay, y'all, so when I was in the 9th grade, I definitely freaking had sticky fingers. Like, it's too hard, but I had sticky fingers. And there was this one girl who was just so freaking mean to me. Like, that girl, like, mean to me. And I remember this one time I wasn't feeling too good, so I went back to the girls' locker room. And all I could just remember is hearing this girl brag about all the snacks she got and this new necklace that she just bought from the store. And I'm like, I fixed it. I'm like, I'm gonna take that. So what did I do? I snatched it. Okay, I took it. I took them Takis and I ate them Takis at lunch. So if you ever wondering where your missing Takis went, I had them and I ate them in your face and you didn't even know. I just think it was justified. It's a justified crash out. Like, she used to literally bully me. Like, I don't care. Okay, so my second embarrassing secret. Y'all, I definitely fixed the slime with just a little bit of shaving cream. Not even any activator. It pokes, it's way stretchy, and then it makes noise. Look, watch. Yes. This slime was from the Dollar Tree. So I think that's a win-win. Okay, so on to my next deepest, darkest secret. This slime doesn't really need fixing, but I feel like it just rips off too easily. So we're just gonna fix a portion of it, okay? Okay, so when I was like 14, 15 years old, there was this boy that lived in my apartment complex. And his dad would always make jokes like, oh, you're da-da-da's girl, like you're da-da-da's girl. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, stop. And at first, I did not like that boy. Like, he was just too stuck up for me. And then on top of that, he was a light skin. So, you know, they don't like our kind. So I'm like, no, right? I'm very weary of this entire thing. And there was this one time he took his shirt off and everything went in slow motion. I was just like, I immediately started to have a crush on this boy, right? And that boy hated my guts. Like, I don't know what I did to him, but he literally hated my guts. He could not stand the sight of me. And it was probably because his dad would like make jokes about us being together 24/7, but he hated my guts. Anyways, so I remember this, like, literally his dad, like, and on the weekends would roll in his truck and he would just be sitting all cool like this, and I would just be like, right? So there was this one time that I was like, you know what, to get a closer view of my soon to be husband, I'm going to hide behind a tree and stalk this man. That was the logical thought that I had in my brain. So that's exactly what I did. I asked my dad if I can go outside. He told me yes. So I hid behind the tree and I'm just like this, waiting for him to pull up. So guess what, his dad truck pulls up, long and behold, but he's not in the car. And his dad gets out and he's like, you could go ahead and stop hiding behind that tree. He ain't here. That's not even the worst part of the entire situation. Later that night, he ended up pulling up. And I remember he literally told my sister that he did not like me and he thought I was the ugliest creature in the world. Told my sister I was the ugliest creature in the world. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I fixed this slime because it's definitely like way more stretchy, but it still breaks and it pokes way more. Also, one last thing before I end this video, look how beautiful this slime is. And number 2, K Marie is not my real name. Big store-bought slime with me while I tell y'all my deepest Scary story time on how I was left at school until 9 p.m. and a stranger drove me home while I make slime. Period. Yeah. I was like 14 years old when this happened. Y'all already know, get your money's worth in what? Let it rain. So boom, this is freshman year. I already mentioned I was 14, and this is also the year my auntie ended up getting sick with cancer. So with that being said, all of like the responsibility fell on my older cousin, and you know, sometimes you forget things when you're dealing with bigger things. So I got dropped off at like 8:30, 8 p.m. and I got let out of school at like 2:15, 2:20. Okay, y'all already know when you get let out of school, sometimes people are going to be talking in front of the school. Some people are walking home, other people are walking to the store. Like, everyone's doing their own thing. So at this point, I'm tired. I've been in school all day, so I go to my designated spot. This is warm water with baking soda, but I already knew it was going to be a minute before somebody came to pick me up, because for some reason they would go pick up my cousins first when my cousin's school was further than mine. For some reason the baking soda did not work this time, but whatever. But anyways, this usually took around like what, 15-20 minutes for them to go to their school and then mine. I was in my spot, I was in my zone, and I was too afraid to whip out my Android. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired. I don't know where anybody else. I'm tired. Let me just kick back my feet and lay back. I'm also gonna add some of this slime. But anyways, yeah. It's actually the front of my old school, but I'd lay down on this thing. These are kids like on it, but like literally I would just lay down where these kids are sitting, but on the other side. Like, I'm gonna close my eyes for a couple of seconds. Like, it's not gonna be that freaking long. Okay, y'all, I messed up the time schedule. I actually got let out of school at like 3:40. Everything still applies, but the time is different. So I actually went to school at like 7:30 and then got out at like 3:40. So at this point, I lay down and I go to sleep, okay? And I started to feel uncomfortable, so I woke up and I'm like, you know, what time is it? Like, where is everybody at? What time is it? Y'all, it was 4:40 and I was still in front of the school by myself. So at this time, I'm looking at my phone being delusional, and I'm like, okay, maybe they got held up at practice, like maybe something important happened, you know, that's probably what's going on here. And I just decide to connect to the Wi-Fi and I start texting my people on Text Now, texting people on Instagram, calling them on Instagram and Text Now, because my phone was not on. The sun is starting to set, it's going on 5 o'clock, and the people who do sports, they're leaving the school. Like, literally my friend, she's leaving the school and she's walking home. I know people are gonna be like, okay, so why didn't you walk home, you know? And honestly, y'all, I started to think about walking home, but across the street from my school was this park. You know, during the day, like, kids would probably skip to the park and they would do things in the park, but during nighttime, the park was actually really creepy to pass by. Really creepy and sketchy, if I'm being honest, but whatever. And then, like, walking around the park, it was just like longer. It would be a longer walk walking around the park. Like, also walking around the park was long, and it was also creepy walking around that way. And at this point, it's already dark, so no. That's a no. And I'm over here being naive, like my family's gonna come pick me up. No, they forgot. Time is going by. Time is going by. Time is going by. At this point, y'all, the teachers are leaving the school. Okay, so I'm just literally in the front of the school, sitting there like, they closed the school gate, y'all. That's how bad it got. And no teacher thought, why is this little kid still sitting in front of the school by herself? None of them thought that. None of them was like, hey, do you need a ride? No. At this point, y'all, I just had no hopes for my family. Like, I was like, I have to suck it up and walk through this park, or walk around like the park, walk through the park. And I'm so scared. I'm just gonna pray the entire time I walk. But I was so scared, y'all. I could have sworn I seen like a figure looking at me through the trees. Okay, I was scared. In my head, I'm thinking everybody else in school, they're gone. Like, I'm just the only one at the school. No. Actually, my lifesaver. I forgot to add that it was only getting colder, and at this point I was literally freezing. I was freezing cold, and out of nowhere I start to hear students coming out of like the gates, and I'm like, what? Like, people are still here? And next thing you know, I see my lifesaver, Evan. Evan was a kid that I transferred to school with, and he was so nice. Like, me and him were like, we were friends in the beginning, and then we became acquaintances. And he seen me, he was like, oh hey, and I was like, hi. And he was like, what are you still doing here? And I was like, I'm just waiting for my family to come pick me up, because I'm still being delusional. I'm still holding on to hope. He mentioned it. What? He mentions it again, and I'm like, you're good. And then like all of his teammates, they get picked up, and his mom pulls up last, and he's on his phone, and I'm over there just freezing with my backpack. And he comes up to me one more time, and he's like, are you sure you don't need a ride? And in that moment, I was so scared because his mother could be, for all I know, you know. So I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, like I need a ride. And he was like, okay, like I'm just gonna tell my mom real quick. And she's like, sweetie, come on, come on. I get in the car, and I was actually scared, but I get in the car and I'm praying, and she's like, why are you out here so late? And I'm like, I think an emergency happened at home. Like I'm literally making up all the excuses I can because I'm still thinking an emergency happened. Whatever, she drives me home because again, I literally like lived like 5 to 10 minutes away from the school. If even that, more like 3 minutes when you're driving. I get home and she's like, okay, like stay safe. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And that was that. I literally walked inside and I was like, literally everyone was like, where were you? And I was like, I was at school. And they were like, oh, like you had like after school program? And I was like, no, you guys forgot to pick me up. And they were like, what? Like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, like you, like, you know, I'm just gonna say older cousin forgot to pick me up. And she was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so sorry, and da 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 da. And that was that, honestly. And that wasn't even the last time, unfortunately. Story time on how I smoked the green stuff and then blacked out while I make slime. It's officially been a year since I posted my first slime video. Y'all, I blacked out so bad, like I literally could not remember anything, but y'all already know, get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put more, but I was like, what? I was like 16 at this time, and I was hanging out with older people, and it's like automatic peer pressure. I want to add that I smoked the green stuff before. Like this was not my first altercation with the green stuff, and I found this magic liquid in Walmart. I was with my cousin and her best friend, and my cousin's best friend, we gonna call her BB. BB wasn't even allowed to, you know, so we would like sneak it, and we went into BB's garage and we made like a makeshift bong out of a freaking water bottle, right? I just want to say a disclaimer. If you're new to this page, y'all, I'm a weirdo, okay? So I do weird stuff. Okay, y'all, we in BB's garage, right? And BB is like dropping the green stuff on the floor like while she's trying to like prepare it, right? And me being me, I just start to see the green stuff dropping on the floor. I'm like, this is such a waste. I pick it up and eat it. Why? I don't know. But in my head, it's like, if I ate it, it would be more of a raw, real reaction. So, she makes like the water bottle bong, and like I take like maybe 4 pits out of that. And mind you, I'm 16. So maybe after like the 3rd hit, I start to feel whoosh. Y'all, I'm fading. I'm fading out. So next thing you know, we're done, you know, and it's time for us to go back to BB's room, right? So all I know is as soon as she opened up that garage door, I teleported. I teleported to her room. Now, like I said, since I did black out, a lot of this stuff was told to me later on. Like, I do not remember a lot of this stuff. So apparently, when I was walking back up to like BB's room, I was literally loud. Like, I could barely walk up the stairs. Like, I was giggling loud as crap. Like, yeah. We're up in BB's room, y'all. And all I know is that I think she started to play music or something, and then out of nowhere I just started to strip. Like I still had like my undergarments on, but I just started to strip. I took a Sharpie and drew a mustache on my face. The icing on the cake, the foot that kicked the cow. I called my ex over 100 times. Over, oh my gosh, 100. Over 100. And if you think me calling him over 100 times was bad, I proceed to get on Instagram live and talk about how much I miss him. I sent him the live over like 100 times. I was literally on live just like spilling my guts. And y'all think that I would stop there, you know, calling him 100 times, that's bad enough. Getting on live, inviting him to the live over 100 times, that's also bad. Y'all think I would stop there? No, I didn't stop there. I proceeded to post on my story, right? Just long videos of me talking about how much I miss my ex. And the worst part about it all, y'all, is the next day, I woke up confused, like not even remembering anything that I did. Like I woke up, I don't remember if I had a headache, but I definitely woke up confused. And, yeah, I go to my Instagram story, and instead of me deleting it, I just kept it there. Like, I just kept the story, and it was over more than one story. It was like 3 or 4 or 5 stories of me just talking about how I miss my ex, and then a bunch of other stuff. Like, to this day, I don't know what happened to me. Yeah, it's just multiple sad parts throughout this entire story, but like, the thing that gets me is that I did not remember, and I still don't remember. And the only reason why I know about some of the stuff that I did was because it was recorded and there was proof. Like, my cousin, unfortunately, she lost her Snapchat, so she can't even send me the videos, and I wouldn't even show y'all the videos of me dancing in my bra and basketball shorts with a freaking mustache drawn on my face. I wouldn't even show y'all that. But just imagine, y'all don't even know what I looked like when I was younger, but just it's just crazy. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me. I don't know what popped in my head to do that, but I did it. So crazy rules that my strict religious mother had on me while I was growing up, while I make iceberg slime. I don't know. I feel like this one is gonna be pretty common, but like, I couldn't talk to boys, and y'all already know the dealio. Get your money's worth, and what? Let it drain. Y'all know. Y'all know. Let's clock my mother's tea. I wasn't allowed to talk to boys. If I talked to boys, it was an issue. If I talked about liking a boy, it was an issue. Like, I was not allowed to talk to boys, and that's why I say it was just common. And I got this from Five and Below. I'm gonna try it. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. I remember there was this one time that I liked this boy at my school. Y'all, it is not working. I liked this boy at my school, and she wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. She literally did not let me watch TV for like a week. I was not allowed to watch TV after I got home and before I went to bed for a week. Y'all, it's not working, so we're gonna stick with the Elmer's glue one. Yeah. Hey, y'all, I was not allowed to have a phone or social media, and I only got an Obama phone because I went to middle school, and you know, I needed to text her like for emergencies or whatever. But literally, my Obama phone was so heavily watched, it wasn't even a phone, y'all. Like, it wasn't even a phone. Literally, my Obama phone shut off at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. So the only like social media app that I had was this freaking fake app called like Pixar or something, or no, like Instapic. It was Picklock, like, I don't know, it was something. And I literally would just post my pictures on there because like I was around my cousins, and my cousins had Instagram, Snapchats, and then the people at my school had Instagram, Snapchats, and Kicks, and I was just left out, y'all. At 13, I had to go to sleep at 7 p.m. sharp. 7 p.m. I could not be up past 7 p.m. And if we were up past 7 p.m., it was because we were saying our prayers, okay? Me and my sisters were not allowed to listen to like provocative music, like hip hop, anything with cussing, excessive cussing, all that. The only reason why, the only reason why I knew what rap music was because of my dad, and like the only rap he would listen to was like E40. So yeah, I was sheltered growing up. Like, I couldn't even watch like certain TV shows, y'all. Like, me and my siblings were only allowed to watch JC and Casey and Corey Kenshin. Like, those are the only YouTubers that we were really allowed to watch. Or like 5-minute crafts. My mom monitored us like no tomorrow, okay? She would check our tablets. She would check our phones constantly. She would go through our phones. We weren't really allowed to have sleepovers. And then we were homeschooled at one point. So we really just had no friends. Hey, y'all, time for the snow part. Oh my gosh. It's like really like a container. Like, ooh, I'm kind of scared, y'all. I don't know what to think. Okay, y'all. It came with a spoon. And we gonna put like 2 droplets. I've never made this before. Don't come for me, y'all. Don't come for me. Oh my gosh, how do I get it back in here? Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna use just like a tad bit of water. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's growing. Oh my gosh, it's growing. I'm scared to put this in my slime, Loki. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna pour this whole thing in here. It fell on me. I feel like I'm making a mess. Because I accidentally put cold water in here instead of, oh my gosh, wow. It definitely like loosened it up. Ugh. And then, like, when we started to live with my mom again, y'all, remember when I told you she was a Black Karen and we called her Black Karen? Yeah, like, I wasn't lying about that. Like, as we started to get older, like, all of that strict stuff was just like, come on, like, why you acting like this? And it's like some stuff she was lenient on, and then other stuff she was just like, no. Like, we literally had to put our phones in the basket. When I was 16, I had to put my phone in a basket on the counter at, like, what? For me, I think it was like 9:30, and for my siblings it was like 8 o'clock. Y'all, it did unactivate my slime. I just had to put so much activator. But yeah, like, those are some strict rules. Like, she definitely has way more, but those are just like the on the top of my head. But honestly, I don't know if this slime feels well, it definitely feels different, but like, I mean, what's different about it? Like, what does it do besides it's just like turned white now? My phone is literally at 1%, y'all, but this is like the finished product. Yeah, I know. Crazy. But I mean, super sticky. How do you get it to like not be so sticky? Because I put so much activator. Like, I also couldn't cuss. Like, I would get in trouble for saying the D word, the H word. Like, me and my sisters could not cuss. And I remember there was this one time where I was filming a video on my like Obama phone, and I said the D word. And my mom came across the video. Y'all, I literally had my phone taken away for a month. Like, yeah. And people be like, oh, why don't you cuss now, like you're grown? I don't cuss because I don't want to cuss. I don't see the purpose in it. It's not because like my mom, because I used to cuss. Like, I used to have a potty mouth. But now I don't care. Okay, y'all, so I lied. This slime actually eats. Also, let me know if you guys want a part 2. And I had to unplug the light for my charger because my phone was on 1%, like I said. But look how fun this slime is. Like, look, poke. Okay, bye. Story time on how me and my family was harassed by our hotel neighbors while I make slime. Y'all, this experience was so weird. Like, they literally called the office, telling the office that we were up at 1, 2 in the morning, like smoking, drinking, and listening to music all night. Y'all already know the dealio. Get your money's worth and what? What? Let it train. Obviously, I need to get more glue. So let me give y'all a little bit of a backstory. So yesterday, me and my family left to go to the beach around like 10 in the morning. We don't get back until like 7 or 8. And when we get back, we notice that there are buses, like literal buses, in the parking lot of the hotel because of some type of youth convention. I have no idea. But the buses were here, and my family is trying to get everything together in the car. And I was like, you know what, y'all? I'm gonna just go upstairs. I'm the only one with the working key. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna put my stuff down, and I'm gonna wait for y'all to get up here to open up the door. Now, my plan was to do that, and then after that, immediately go get some ice, okay? So as I make it to my floor, y'all, why does it look like school just let out on my floor? It's just a bunch of little kids everywhere. Like, little kids was everywhere. And again, I'm minding my business, but like walking through a crowd of kids or walking past a crowd of kids, they are judgmental. So, you know, my social anxiety starts to rise. Now, as I make it to my door, I'm about to like put the key in, and out of nowhere I hear like laughing, pointing, and I hear and see laughing and pointing, and then after that I hear, oh, that's the room she's going into. Now, y'all, I brushed it off. The reason why I brushed it off because I have social anxiety, like I said, and sometimes I be over exaggerating. I was already tired. I had sand in places I don't even want to speak of. So my only thing was getting in this room, putting my stuff down, waiting for my family so I can hurry up and get in the bath. Get some ice and then get in the bath. My family, they come up, they get a little bit settled, and then like maybe like 2 minutes after my family comes up, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go get some ice. Now, when I go to get some ice, I go to open up my door, and the door across from me, they literally open up the door at the same time as me, and then they look me up and down, side eye me, laugh at me in my face, and then all I see is pointing, and then I turn my back. Like, I just ignore it. I'm like, what the crap? And I turn my back, and then all I hear is like, yeah, I told you that's the room she came out of. Like, I told you. Now, my family insists that the reason why they were doing that was because like they recognized me from TikTok, but I don't even know what to think. Truly, I don't. So I keep walking, and I'm literally hearing the laughs down the hall, but I don't care. I keep walking. I go get my ice, and then I come back up. Now, when I come back up, y'all, there's no more like a whole bunch of kids in the hallway. It's more of like just like a group, like a huddled group next to my door, okay? They're not next to my door, but they're across from my door. Now, When they make it, they're across my door. I'm walking up to my door. Same group of little kids just looking at me like this. And I'm like, boo, like, but you know, these are little kids, and I was trying my best not to say nothing, but I'm like, okay, like, whatever, like, obviously they looking at, they could take a picture because it'll last longer, how hard they staring at me. So I'm like, bro, this is weird. So again, all I hear is, there she goes, like, she's going in that room. So I come into the room, I close the door, lock the door, and then I tell, like, my family, like, this is what's going on, this is the weird experience I'm having with them little kids. And I just start to look through the peephole because I hear scratches, like, on the door, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, so I look through the peephole, I see like 2 kids come up, scratch the door, and then I tell my family, like, look, this is what they're doing. So my family looks through the peephole, and then out of nowhere, I had walked away from the door, and I hear 3 bangs on the door, and then I see my family member open the door, laughing, and then go like, I seen you too. And so I'm like, bro, what just happened? And I'm laughing, and my family is like, oh, like, they just did ding dong ditch on us. And I was laughing because when I was a kid, like, that used to be fun. I'm talking a lot. Okay, I got my breath. So again, I'm in the, at this point, I'm like, okay, they just being little kids. Like, it is what it is. They being little kids. I don't care. I'm gonna combine this slime with the other slimes that I just made for other videos, but yeah. Anyways, I'm like, okay, like, I don't care. They're being little kids. It is what it is. Now, one of my family members goes to take a shower, and I'm on the game. And my other family member has to tell me this, but while I was playing the game, they're just knocking on the door, like, banging on the door. And we're obviously ignoring them because, for one, I couldn't hear them. And for 2, my other family member, she just didn't feel like it. So I ended up getting off the game around, like, maybe, like, 11 or 12 o'clock. I don't really remember. And then out of nowhere, I'm laying down and I hear scratches on the door again. And how I know it's not a ghost, it's these little kids, is because I can hear giggling. Like, these walls are made of paper. Someone could probably hear me making this TikTok right now. I go to sleep at like 2 in the morning, 2:40 in the morning. That's when I go to sleep. And then I wake up like throughout the night, hearing knocking. Again, I ignore it. These are little kids. And then around like maybe 9 in the morning, I wake up to one of my family members saying, did you know that they called the office, telling the office that we were in here smoking and drinking and playing music all night? So I wake up, I'm like, what are you talking about? And they like explain it. And then literally after my family member got that phone call, she was explaining, like, no, that's not what happened. Like, we were asleep. And the person at the desk was like, yeah, I know, because I pulled up and I didn't hear anything. So that's how I know they were just like prank calling or goofing around or whatever. So this video is already 5 minutes. They decided to go do laundry, one of my family members. And then when they came back from doing their laundry, getting their clothes, y'all, guess what we see? We see trash all over our door, like in front of our hotel door. My family insists on the fact that it was because they recognized me from TikTok, and the way that they were staring at me and laughing at me, it does give like that, but I don't want to be like airheaded and assume that. I don't know, y'all. Like, I'm not a famous person. I am not getting, like, people are not stopping in the middle of the street to take pictures of me. So the fact that a bunch of little kids started to harass me all night long just because of that, it's just strange. But what do y'all think?